Yeah. Yep.
Did anybody else get forcibly signed out?
Yeah, yes, that was, I was telling that maybe Zoom is coming back, to the 40-minute stuff, you see, the 40 minutes limit. Okay, so before the pandemic, they used to kick you out after 40 minutes. Now, when the pandemic came, maybe, they say, okay, it's going to be cool if you let like everybody, log on forever because, the education stuff. But now, maybe now they're coming back to the to the old policy now, So if this continues, so I'm gonna, check right now. If it continues, I'm gonna ask everybody to do it because we cannot get kicked out, every 40 minutes. It's not like very pleasant. We will go to Teams, right? So I'm gonna wait like a couple of minutes to see if everybody came back.
So before class ends, it'll
Uh-huh.
kick us out again.
Yeah, we're gonna see. If it does that again, then we will know it came back to the 40 minutes limit, which means, by 40 minutes now, it's gonna be almost at the end of the class, which means by the next time I will put a team link on Brightspace, and we're gonna go to Teams, okay?
But if it ends, do we have to come back or no?
No,
After the 40
I mean,
minutes?
the next 40 minutes, because the class will be it. The class will be almost done, okay?
Okay.
For the next 40 minutes. So then I will, I'm gonna wait a little bit. So this is, like I said, new stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna wait a little bit to give everybody a chance to come back. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be annoying. All right. So, okay, so that is addition of functions. F plus g of x is f of x plus g of x. F minus g of x will be f of x minus g of x, right? And for the multiplication, f times g of x will be of fx times g of x. And finally, for the division, it's going to be the same thing. F over g of x is going to be f of x over g of x. All right. So that is algebra of functions. How to add, how to subtract, how to multiply, how to divide. Now let's see some live examples now. If I have f of x 3x plus 1 and g of x equal to square root of x plus 2. Okay, so look, when we say find f of, find f plus g of 4, of 7. How to get f plus g of 7? So do not overthink this. Don't overthink it. F plus g of 7 will be f of 7 plus g of 7. So on one hand, you're going to find f of 7 on one hand, right? Which is 3 times 7 plus 1, which is 22, right? On the other hand, you're going to find g of 7, which is square of 7 plus 2, which is 3. So what is the answer? The answer will be 22 plus 3. So the answer will be 22 plus 3, right? You see? So because why plus here? Because this is a plus here. It's going to be f of 7 plus g of 7. That's it. So we don't overthink these cases right here. Okay, we don't overthink them. We don't say, oh, this might be something else. No. It is f of 7 plus g of 7. As simple as that, right? So now, with the same example, f of x is equal to 3x plus 1. And g of x is equal to square root of x plus 2. Plus 7. Plus 2. So tell me how are you gonna do f minus g of 14 equal. How are you gonna do f times g of 0? How are you gonna do f over g of -1? Go ahead. Knowing that in each case, you have to find f of that number, you have to find g of that number, and then you're going to subtract them, or you're going to multiply them, or you're going to divide them, right? All right, so I let you a couple of minutes to do that. All right. Okay, so can somebody tell me what they got for the first one?
39.
39.
39? Okay.
I got 39 too.
Yeah, me too.
So because f of 14, right? F of 14, you see, I do this, f of 14 is 3 times 14 plus 1, which is 43, right? And then g of 14 is square of 14 plus 2, which is 4. So it's going to be 43 minus 4, which is 39. Thank you. How about fg of 0? How much you got?
Square root of 2.
Squares of 2. Thank you. That is exactly right. Because f of 0 is 1. G of 0 is root 2. So it's going to be 1 times root 2, which is root 2, right? How much is f over g of -1? How much you got?
-2.
-2. I agree. So f of -1 is 3 times -1 plus 1, which is -2, right? And then g of -1 is square root of -1 plus 2, which is 1. So it's going to be -2 divided by 1, which is -2. Okay? So that is, so when you see some like that on the test, please do not overthink it. Don't overthink, you know, okay, we have to do this. No, 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 no. It's just straight addition or subtraction or multiplication or division, right? So now I ask you now, if you say now, what is f plus g of x now, right? Just of x without no, it's just f of x, which is 3x plus 1 plus g of x, you see, plus square root of x plus 2. If we cannot simplify, we are done. If you can do something else, you know, we continue. But if you cannot simplify, this is f plus g of x, right? So let me give these two functions where maybe you can simplify. So f of x so what is f minus g of x, and what is f g of x? Go ahead. So f minus g of x here, how much you got after simplifying? Is it f of x minus g of x? It's going to be f of x 2x minus 1 minus g of x minus x squared minus 5. All right. It's 2x minus 1 parentheses minus x squared minus 5. It's going to be 2x minus 1 minus x squared plus 5, which is negative x squared plus 2x plus 4. Okay. My point here is when we ask you to subtract functions, you just subtract them as you see here. Okay. And how about multiplication? It's just 2x minus 1 times x squared minus 5. Okay. The next step maybe would be just to distribute.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to let you know I was in the area. I'm going to get ready to go.
All right. So the next step would be just to distribute. Okay. So the next step would be to distribute like 2x cubed minus 10x minus x squared plus 5, which is 2x cubed minus x squared minus 10x plus 5. Okay, so this is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of functions. Okay, so they are pretty much straightforward. The last one we're going to introduce now, and maybe you're going to remember it, maybe some of you, is the composition of functions. So that now is a little bit different. Okay, let's say we have two functions f and g. So we have, this is x, and apply g to the function x, I mean to x, what I get when I apply g to x, I get what? What I get here? When you apply g to x, what you get? In general.
G of X?
Yes, you get g of x, right? You see? You know, when you apply g, the function g to x, you get g of x. Now you go ahead on top of that, you see, on top of that, you apply another function f to that. You see, on top of the g, what you get here? Similarly, what you're gonna get?
F of g of x.
F of g of x, f of the red stuff, right? F of g of x. Okay, this is what we call composition, is applying a function on top of another function, which is different from here. You see here that is different, right? Here, the two actions we did here are independent. We applied f to 14, we get 43. We apply g to 14, we get 4. That are two independent actions. Here, the actions are not independent. They are very well ordered, right? The function g, the machine g, has to be applied first, and then the machine f applies. You see, this is like what type of situation is about that? For instance, if you work on a warehouse, right, or something like that, on a factory, you have people aligned. Everybody is working on the product that is done by somebody else, right? You see, I do something, and then I pass it to the next person, and they do something on my product, right? And they pass it to the next person. They're going to do something on the product, you see? So basically, you are applying something on top of something on top of something. This is what you call composition of functions, right? So here, what's going to happen then? We're going to say, okay, let me build a new machine now. The new machine basically will bypass the middle step. The new machine will go from here straight to here. You see, we're going to build a machine that take x that gets us what? F of g of x. So basically the machine g is inside, but we don't see it, okay? So that function is called f circle g. Look at the order. Look at how we call them, f circle g. What function was applied first? What function was applied first? G was applied first, right? If we change, if you put f first and then g second, how are you gonna call it?
G of F.
G circle F, right? So here the order is very important. F circle G means we applied G first and then we applied F next, right? Okay, so you can see, and this is what happens, you know, in the factories. You know, sometimes why they lay off people sometimes. You see, you can have in a factory, you can have somebody here, somebody is working here, right? On the product, right? They work on the product and they pass it to somebody else, you know, that do something on it, make it bigger. They pass it to somebody else that make it bigger, etc., right? You know, and they pass it to somebody else that make it like, you know, the final product. So how many people was hired? 1, 2, 3, 4 people. What's they gonna do? They're gonna build a robot, right? And that robot includes this one, includes this one. What's gonna happen? This one will be fired. This one will be fired. Now they just need the first one and the last one, right? You see? Unfortunately, that happens, you know, in the industry, okay? So that is F, that is the composition of functions, F circle G of F. So you can write yours, yeah, go ahead.
So if we have f of x, g of f of x, h of g of x,
Yes.
and y of h of x. So we can go to f of x and y of x.
Yeah, you can compose as many functions as you want to. You see, so it starts with a composition of 2 functions, but you can compose as many as you want. You can say F circle G circle H circle Z, right? The only thing is the order is very important. The order, the way you do them is very, very important here. Okay, but you know, it starts with 2 functions, but we can compose as many functions. You know, in a factory, for instance, like I said, in a factory, we have composition of a lot of functions, right? Not only 2, we have a lot. We have a bunch of people aligned. Everybody is working on somebody else's product, right? So that is a composition of functions, okay? So right here, now you look at this scheme right here. Look at the scheme. Can you tell me what is F circle G of X? Can you tell me the definition? Look at the scheme. How much is that? The function F circle G, when it takes X, the input is X, what is output? What is output?
Wow.
That is the input, that is the output, right? The output is what? F of G of X, exactly. Yeah. This is a composite function F circle G. F circle G of X is F of G of X, okay? It is F of G of X, that is F circle G of X, right? This is F circle G of X, right? So basically, what is F circle G? Is when you plug in the function G into the function F. That is F circle G. You plug in the function G into the function F, right? So for instance, we say F of X is equal to 3x plus 1. G of X 2x minus 3, right? So we say, for instance, what is f circle G of 5, for instance? You see here, we cannot just independently find f of 5, find G of 5, and do something with them. Now here we have an order to respect. What you're going to find first? What function are you going to apply first to 5?
3x plus 1.
Exactly, the function G. Thank you. So first here, what you have to do first is to find G of 5, which is 3 times, which is 2, it's not 3x plus 1, it's this one right here, G, 2x minus 3, I'm sorry. The first function to be applied, look at here, is the function G, is 2x minus 3, right? So we're gonna say, first we find G of 5, which is 2x minus 3, 2 times 5 minus 3, which is 7. And then what is the next move? Second, we find f of, do you find f of 5 or f of what number? F of what number?
7.
7.
F of 7, right? Which is 3 times 7 plus 1, which is 22. That's my answer. You see that? We take the function G that's going to work on the number 5. It's going to work on the input 5. So it gives me a number, which is 7. And then we take that number 7, we put into F. So basically, it goes this into G and then this, right? Okay, so that is the composition of function F circle G. So now for the same functions right here, for the same ones, can you find G circle F of 5? Go ahead. For the same two functions, what is G circle F of 5? Okay, what do we calculate first? What do we calculate first?
F.
F of what?
F of 5.
F of 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, at first we do F of 5, right? So we do F of 5, which is 3 times 5 plus 1, which is what?
16.
16. And then next what we do? G of
16
G of 16, exactly. So G of 16, which is
29.
2 times
2
16
times 16 minus 3 is 29.
minus 3, which is 29. Okay, so what is the first remark we can do? You see how important the order is? See, it is doing the same thing, right? So, okay, so I'm gonna set up the next meeting on Teams. Okay, so we're gonna do our next meeting on Teams, and then I will put the link on Brightspace. Okay, I will put the link because we cannot do that. Okay, so what we say here is F circle G is different from G circle F in general, right? F circle G is different from G circle F in general. All right. So when we come back, like I said, next week, watch out your email, right? Watch out your email and Brightspace for next week. I think we're gonna do that on Teams, okay? All right, so we're gonna stop right here, because before it kicks me out, I need to talk to a couple of students. So we're gonna stop right here for today. And okay, we're gonna see each other next week, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.